Oh, I can barely speak. We have jumped into the 3 hours from recording this podcast where the Toronto Maple Leafs have just won game four in overtime, 4-3, after being down 4-1 at the end of the second period. You go back to that game seven against Boston, where we put up the 4-1 lead, and so many curses began. Like, in my wildest dreams going into this third period, I was hoping for the third period that the Lightning had at the end of game two, where you show them some scrap, some fighting spirit. But so, Austin Matthews leading the way, getting 2 goals in that period. After a disastrous first 2 periods of special teams where maybe you lose the rest of the game 60-40, but you give up a penalty or a goal on the penalty kill. You get nothing on your power plays. You get a big power play goal from 4-2 to 4-3 to really make it a game. You start winning the entry, getting puck possession, and then you get the second line getting the power play goal at the end in the overtime game after the first line had a half decent power play. Kerfoot, Giordano, friends we've made along the way. Oh,
I'm losing my mind. I am actually losing with my girlfriend, my poor girlfriend, and any deity or
my
any
poor
deity
neighbors.
that you believe in, the heavens above as my witness. I still believed in this team.
Okay. I had no anything in my head
You know
going
what?
on.
You know what? As a Leafs fan, you're already. Oh, I left food cooking on the stove. Okay, there's a
No,
lot
no.
going on right now.
If you need to go
No,
take care
no.
of it, I can
So
talk.
with God as my witness, I did not give up on this team, and they they did it.
They did
Like
it.
Columbus. Do you remember the comeback
There's been so many,
in
I've
the
kind of
deep
forgot them
depths of
all.
the pandemic when you and our fathers were watching it on the in the backyard, and they came back from 4-1 and they lost in overtime.
Mhm.
And I thought they couldn't lose this game. They just simply couldn't lose it after they came back. And this is catharsis. This is a moment I am hoping, but this is a moment that feels very different, right? They don't win those types of games. They don't win game three. They certainly don't win tonight. And they did it somehow. And I was screaming from the rooftops. I mean, we talked about it right before we got on. The first 10
Oh,
minutes is going to show what kind of team this is. And it showed. They came out so flat,
well,
inconceivably flat. And they still won this game. I can't comprehend. I
give the
cannot.
Lightning some credit. They had a lot to prove. They have a lot of talent. They've been there before. Nikita Kucherov is terrifying with the puck in the slot. Two absolute out of this world wizardry displays of playmaking from him. The Steven Stamkos does a fantastic job getting to the net. The Lightning's elite talented core did what they have done for many years. It was more than a storm the Leafs had to weather, but they weathered it. A completely different second period from game three, where the Leafs played terribly and the results didn't show. This second period, the Leafs don't play nearly as bad, but the results look a lot worse. And again, you go back to Austin Matthews coming out and getting us a goal in the first 10 minutes of that third period. Suddenly, 2 goals. You scored the empty netter at the end of the last game, or excuse me, the 6-on-5. But with the when you score that power play goal 4-3, it didn't even feel like we might need it. Like you said, the momentum built and they kept it. 4-line hockey. We're rolling. Our core is going. Nylander, Matthews, Tavares have their blueprint, have their fingertips all over the blueprints to victory in different ways throughout this game. Morgan Reilly might be the best Toronto Maple Leaf in this series so far.
I don't know which Reilly, man. Which Reilly? It's unbelievable.
It's true, but I want to give all the credit in the world to Morgan Reilly right now. Like, this is game 2, game 3, game 4. He has been magnificent. He's always felt a bit underrated. I don't know if my mic is picking up. My text message is blowing up right now in the family group chat. But he has truly been a two-way elite defenseman who can skate the puck at like the highest level. It's been fantastic to see. And Ilya Samsonov is staring Andrei Vasilevsky in the face and not blinking.
Some of those, Matthew Knies scraped it off the goal.
Oh, yeah. I can't forget that. You go back to that. I don't know if that was 3-1 or 4. I think it was 3-1, but you go into that third period 5-1. And I know if that goal goes in, it's a completely different rest of the second period. But wow, game 5, I don't know who Bunting's taking out. I don't know where Bunting's playing. I guess
he doesn't touch the ice. He does not touch the ice.
Yeah,
he can't.
I'm not upset. I mean, game 1, the Leafs lose with him in. Game 2, 3, and 4, the Leafs win in varying ways. If he plays, I'd want him like almost on the fourth line or something, taking out Aston Reese.
Yeah, that's basically it. That's the spot. Kerfoot scoring the game winner. Like, that might have been the guy you put on the chopping block, because for 59 minutes, he did nothing.
Oh, I'm a big Kerfoot fan.
But the last 5 minutes of that third period and then overtime, all of a sudden he was buzzing the entire game. I barely mentioned his name. And then he just, all of a sudden, the speed came through. Like, he seemed the freshest. Him, Willie, and Knies just were buzzing around. Like, they were the fastest players on the ice tonight. And Tampa just, it seemed like they wore down near the end of that game. They didn't have anything left in the tank.
I mean, you think about the impact Matthews had in that third period, and you think about how that overtime goal came from the second power play unit after some possession, some attempts, certainly better than the first period power play, but still a pretty solid penalty killing effort from Tampa, and that's where the wearing down takes effect. So many of our goals this series have come from the science of playoff hockey. Shot bodies in front of the net, shots from the point. Two of them coming this game. 3 if you count the Nylander from the edges to the Matthews deflection. Yeah, so I'd say 3. This team is learning playoff hockey 1 year, 1 series, 1 acquisition at a time. So the Leafs now 2-18 in their last 20 when they are when they are leading in a playoff series. That just the second time they've won a game. The first when they're ahead in a long time. The first being up against Montreal, where we saw them blow a 3-1 series. If they have truly learned and progressed and become a better team,
my villain origin story is us not even just it being a game 7. I would turn into the Joker.
Look, I'm not making any threats or promises, but it is a good thing that I'm not
footage at FBI. Delete this footage.
All I'm saying is, if I had a baseball bat and was standing in front of Victor Hedman's knees, I don't know what decision I would make.
The whole night, it's so bad. I was just saying, cross-check him in the hand. Cross-check him in the hand. Every scrum.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, I had no expectations at the start of this game. I thought, of course, the Leafs are going to lose. They go down. I had no expectations. They get it close. I have no expectations. They send it to overtime. With the track record we've had, I had no expectations. So all of this has been a wonderful surprise. I'm worried they're getting my hopes up just a little, just a little. Dallas Green did an interview apparently with Ryan O'Reilly. He said, if you guys win this thing, we might actually bring the CN Tower down, and like the first chain sealing that beast has been opened tonight for me. Anything else?
No, I just need to go take a cold shower.
All right, this is definitely going on YouTube, but for the people who have been listening in the podcast, we will be returning back to when the rest of the podcast was recorded at approximately 7 p.m. Blissful before this. Owen has been doing most of this podcast holding the microphone, standing in his kitchen. I'd check out the YouTube footage just for that. Back to the past. Sports Next Door coming right back to you.